Hi, I'm John Green. Welcome to my salon. This is Mental Floss on YouTube. And did you know that Russia classified beer as food rather than alcohol until 2013? And that's the first of many, many, many amazing facts I'm going to share with you today in this video brought to you by Geico. 30 to 40% of couples sleep in separate beds. Also, Hitler got daily caffeine injections. What do those facts have to do with each other? Nothing. In 2000, Pope John Paul II was named an honorary member of the Harlem Globetrotters. In Poland, there is a blind dog who uses a seeing-eye goose named Buttons. Doctors working during World War I spurred along two major innovations: blood banks and plastic surgery. Thanks, World War I. A human in space could survive for around 1 to 2 minutes without a spacesuit. Dolly Parton's husband of almost 50 years has watched her perform exactly one time. Also, Ernest Hemingway once stole a urinal from his favorite bar. Goats have rectangular pupils. A Trenta at Starbucks is 916 milliliters. The average adult stomach can only hold around 900 milliliters. And every second, 10 tweets mention Starbucks. These are the odds that a deck of cards has been shuffled the same way twice. In 2008, Norway knighted a penguin named Sir Nils Olav. Rabbit show jumping was invented in Sweden. It's just like horse show jumping, but with rabbits. Also, when you mix cornstarch and water, it becomes a liquid that you can actually walk on. China blocks Facebook, but still has 95 million Facebook users. It also blocks YouTube, but hopefully some of those 95 million people are watching this. Maybe all of them. Then we'd be rich, Mark. Speaking of China, in 2010 they had a traffic jam that lasted for 10 days. Mel Blanc, who voiced Bugs Bunny, once almost died in a car crash. He awoke from his 14-day coma when his doctor asked, "Bugs Bunny, how are you doing today?" The GPS coordinates mentioned in an episode of Breaking Bad actually led to where the show was filmed in Albuquerque. The chemical composition of tears depends on whether they're emotional or reflex tears. Andrew Jackson's pet parrot got kicked out of Jackson's funeral for cursing. WD-40 is named for the 40 attempts it took to come up with the formula, and Michael Jackson wanted to create a Harry Potter musical, but J.K. Rowling turned him down. Great work, Joe. God and Jesus are the only Simpsons characters with 10 fingers rather than 8. Steinbeck's puppy ate half of the original of Mice and Men manuscript. The song Every Breath You Take by The Police is about stalking, so it's not really romantic. When it's sunny, thermal expansion makes the Eiffel Tower grow by up to 15 centimeters. Sia wrote the Rihanna song Diamonds in 14 minutes. A blue whale's heart is the size of a Volkswagen Bug, and a blue whale's tongue weighs as much as an elephant. Not an elephant's tongue, the actual elephant. The closest state in the US to Africa is Maine. That is in Maine. I mean, insane. Elizabeth Taylor allegedly wouldn't let anyone else on her movie sets wear the same shade lipstick as her. According to Spotify, the college that listens to the most relaxing music is the University of Colorado at Boulder. That's a surprise. The angriest? Purdue University. The largest distributor of toys in the world is McDonald's. McDonald's is also, of course, the largest distributor of things that ended up on our wall of magic. Also, you have around a 1 in 602 million chance of finding Boardwalk in McDonald's Monopoly, so don't hold your breath. Vegas may be known for its gambling, but there is no Nevada state lottery. In 2012, metal thieves dressed as a demolition crew stole a 10-ton bridge in the Czech Republic. The world's youngest marathon runner was a boy named Budya Singh, who ran 48 marathons by the time he was 4 years old. That's more than I've run ever. In 1932, there was a great emu war in Australia in which soldiers killed emus with machine guns. The success of the Doritos Locos Tacos allowed Taco Bell to hire 15,000 new employees. Shakespeare invented the name Jessica, and the word Q is the only English word that sounds the same when you remove 4 of its letters. In 2008, over 1 million Robbie Williams CDs were shipped to China to be used for roads and streetlights. And speaking of music, the only beardless member of ZZ Top is named Frank Beard. Also, if you hit Silly Putty with a hammer, it shatters, and the Muppet Show pilot was titled Sex and Violence. They never really delivered on that. In 1993, almost 500,000 citizens of the Philippines thought they had won 1 million pesos in a Pepsi marketing contest thanks to an error at PepsiCo, which sparked riots and bombings. The first character on a lunchbox was Mickey Mouse in 1935. In 2014, Giants player Larry Dawson O'Connell lost fantasy football week 4 when he benched himself for another tight end, then had a great game with 54 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Twitter handles of police are stitched on their uniforms in Jaén near Granada in Spain, and in the 335-year-long war between the Netherlands and the Isles of Scilly, there were no casualties. And in 1989, Deion Sanders hit a home run in Major League Baseball and scored a touchdown in the NFL in the same week. Coca-Cola owns every domain variation of ah.com, from 2 H's up to 62 H's. Disney World employees weren't allowed to have beards until 2012, when America ran out of young men without beards. When Disneyland opened, there was a lingerie shop on Main Street, USA. Ian Fleming called James Bond the dullest name I ever heard. In 2010, a car fueled by coffee, the Carpuccino, drove 210 miles in England. Kim Jong-il wrote 6 operas in 2 years, but Sia could have written way more than that. Champagne bottles have 90 pounds of pressure per square inch. Refried beans are actually only fried once, and Elvis Presley was blonde. Struthious means having to do with or resembling an ostrich. Snoop Dogg once produced a rap by Buzz Aldrin called Rocket Experience. In 16th century France, rats were summoned to court for eating a barley crop. They didn't show up to their court date because, you know, they're rats. The word dinner came from a French word meaning breakfast. There are 3 times as many marijuana dispensaries in Denver, Colorado than there are Starbucks and McDonald's combined. In 2012, the top-selling item at Walmart was a banana. Charles Dickens started writing A Christmas Carol in October of 1843. He published it that December. I am very jealous of that productivity. The most commonly reported dream is about an unfaithful spouse. 90% of the world's ice mass is in Antarctica. It cost more to make Disney's Tangled than James Cameron's Avatar. Israel offered Albert Einstein the presidency of the nation in 1952. He declined. In 2012, when a shooting team from Kazakhstan won a championship in Kuwait, the event's organizers accidentally played Borat's parody of the Kazakh national anthem. Pablo Picasso's full name is 23 words long. The cat in The Godfather was not in the script. It was a stray found by Marlon Brando. In 2013, Joey Chestnut ate 141 hard-boiled eggs in 8 minutes. Dr. Seuss proposed to his wife from a ditch where he had just crashed his motorcycle. There is a fungus in Oregon that takes up 2,200 acres. The Hollywood sign was built as an ad. It was only supposed to be up for a year. Speaking of years, people have spent 6 million of them playing World of Warcraft, longer than humans took to evolve from the ancestor that we share with apes. Maurizio Gucci once spent $10,000 on a single pigeon. Spiders can still spin webs in 0 gravity, and the Barney costume is 70 pounds and sometimes 120 degrees inside, which serves him right. Hens with red earlobes typically lay brown eggs, and Pierce Brosnan once worked as a fire eater. In 1991, there was a cereal called Urkel-O's based on the Family Matters character, and Teddy Roosevelt kept lobsters in his dorm room at Harvard. All right, we're getting to the end now. 95% of the ocean is unexplored, and 90% of volcanic activity happens in the ocean. When people sing together, their heart rates sometimes sink. Nicole Kidman has lepidopterophobia. She is afraid of butterflies. A man with a mustache typically touches it 760 times a day. That cannot be hygienic. Henry III had a polar bear, which he kept chained to the Tower of London. Leonardo da Vinci, meanwhile, would buy caged animals just to set them free. A hummingbird egg is the size of a pea. Pizza Hut has a perfume that smells like pizza. Ode to Pizza Hut. It's a myth that elephants like to eat peanuts. 12% of people only dream in black and white. NASCAR does not require its drivers to have a driver's license. And finally, I return to my salon to tell you that 2/3 of the people on Earth have never seen snow. Thanks for watching this episode of Mental Floss on YouTube, which was made with the help of all of these nice people and brought to you by our friends at Geico. So thank you very much, Geico. As we say in my hometown, don't forget to be awesome.